Hello, everybody. I hope I'm visible. I'm audible. No, I'm not visible. I'm just audible this time. Okay. Without wasting much of time, we are sitting on the 3rd of July, third shift. I've increased the font size for better view. The Green Revolution led to an increase in the agricultural output due to the use of HYV seeds. Okay. HYV seeds. HYV seeds stands for high yielding. Yielding means giving an output. Giving an output. High output variety, high yielding variety seeds. Okay, you may read about them a little bit more over here. Okay, these seeds were developed to produce more grain per plant, which significantly increased the food grain production. Okay, who's the father of green revolution? Norman Borlaug. Okay, Norman Borlaug. And what about the father of green revolution in India? MS Swaminathan. Swaminathan. Okay, moving on. What is the following is an example? An application software is something which helps the user connect with the machine and take. Basically, application means it helps the user in completing a task. Okay, a language, a person must know the programming language, and that then only he can take help from the computer. A web browser is definitely an application. Definitely an application, but it connects the user with the internet. An operating system is a direct connection between the system and the user. Okay, so a word processor is the best option of an application software. The application software is designed to perform specific tasks for users, such as creating documents, managing data, or providing entertainment. So you may read about everything over here. Moving on. Which of the following is the default alignment of a text in a Microsoft Word document? As soon as you open the Microsoft Word document and you start typing, so the first word starts from the leftmost side. Okay, it starts from the leftmost side. So left is the default alignment of a Microsoft Word document. Okay, this means that when you start typing in a new document, the text will automatically align to the left margin by default. Okay, it would start from the left hand side, and also when you keep on typing and you change the line, the next first word of the next line would also be on the left hand side. So this is what means by left indentation or left alignment. Moving on. Ursa Major is a constellation. We've already talked about it. Ursa Major is also known as the Great Bear. It is one of the most recognizable constellations in the night sky. Okay, you may see a little more about it. This constellation is notable for containing the Big Dipper, which is a prominent asterism. No. It's a prominent star. Okay, it's not an asterism. A prominent star that helps in locating the North Star. Okay, moving on. Which of the following is issued by commercial banks at discount on face value? It's a clear cut option, that is certificate of deposits. CODs or CDs, basically. CDs are saving certificates with fixed maturity date and specified interest rate issued by commercial banks at a discount on their face value. Okay, at a discount on their face value. So, moving on. The proclamation of which act by the King of England in 1773 paved the way for the establishment of Supreme Court. The Supreme Court was established 1773 regulating act, and it was established in Calcutta. Calcutta. Okay. So regulating act of 1773. Moving on. Good Friday is related to Christianity. You may read a little about it over here. Good Friday is a significant event in Christianity observed to commemorate the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death at the cross of Calvary. Okay, moving on. Where was India's first hockey club founded? The answer is Calcutta. Most of the sports were founded here, like even football. Football's first the first football club was also founded in Calcutta. Okay, moving on. Which city is referred to the Manchester of India? Manchester of India is Ahmedabad. Okay, it is said so because of the thriving textile industry. Okay, Manchester, Manchester of India is Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad. Okay, Ahmedabad. Moving on. As per census 2011, the population growth during the decade remained 17.64. Okay, this is something which needs to be learned very well. Okay, 17.64. The decadal growth, for which discovery did Henry Becquerel receive the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903? The answer is spontaneous radioactivity. You may read more about it over here. Spontaneous radioactivity was discovered by Becquerel when he found that certain materials emitted radiation without an external source of energy. Without an external source of energy. Moving on, Dash is a form of Sikh festival. So, Hola Mohalla is one of the songs of the Sikh festival. It's one of the Sikh festivals that are celebrated mostly in Punjab. Okay, it's a significant and traditional festival celebrated by Sikhs, often marking at a time of martial displays and community gatherings. Okay, so moving on, which section of the RPA or the Representation of Peoples Act 1951 deprives the of their right to vote? The answer is section 62 of 5, 62 part 5. And you need to like just learn this. There is no way I can create a linkage or maybe some sort of concept for it. Okay, the section is there, it's there. The RPA section 62 of 5 of RPA says this section is specifically states that individuals who are in custody of the are not entitled to vote in the elections. Okay, moving on. In January 2022, which evacuation mission did the government of India launch to evacuate the Indian stranded in Ukraine? The answer is Operation Ganga. This is one of the current affairs, and you need to be well versed and abreast with the current affairs so as to score well. Okay, Operation Safe Homecoming. Safe Homecoming is for Libya. Safe Homecoming. Safe Homecoming is Libya. Then Operation Rahat is for Yemen. Rahat is for Yemen. Basically, Indian stranded in Yemen. Vande Bharat COVID-19 for people who are stranded during the COVID-19 times outside India, and the one which we are talking about over here is Ganga for Ukraine. Okay. Which article of the Constitution mentions about establishing and maintaining institutions for religious and charitable purposes? The answer is Article 26. Article 26 of the Indian Constitution provides every religion, denomination, every religious denomination, or any section thereof the right to establish and maintain institutions for religious and charitable purposes. Moving on, in a situation wherein a female, and B, male are working in the same office, at the same designation, the same nature of work, but unequal payment. Which of the following articles of the Constitution will be applicable? So there is no particular right that comes into play, but there is a DPSP which comes into play. The DPSC which comes into play is Article 39D, which explicitly mentions that the state shall, in particular, direct its policy work towards securing that there is equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Okay, so it is a Article 39D, Article 39D, which talks about DPSPs. Okay, equal work for equal pay. Moving on, the term banana cake is associated with which sport? Okay, so a banana is basically a fruit. Okay, it's a fruit and it looks something of this sort. So when a banana topples down, or it let's say it topples up, it topples up. So this is called a banana kick. assuming a banana is kicking. Similarly, if a man or a woman who's playing football literally lies down in the air or tries to bend himself in the air in such a manner that his feet or his foot touch the football like this from this action, this is called a banana kick. So this is called the banana kick is the banana kick is primarily associated with the sport of football. Okay, you may read about everything over here. Moving on, the Maritime Anti-Piracy Act 2022 received the assent of President on the 31st of July, 31st of January 2023. Okay, you may read about it over here. Moving on, which of the following folk musics of Chhattisgarh is based on the epic Mahabharata? The answer is Pandavani. Mandavani is a traditional folk music style of Chhattisgarh. The music form narrates the tales from the epic Mahabharata, particularly focusing on the adventures and deeds of the Pandavas or the Pandavas. Okay, the government of which state started the Tansen Samman? The Tansen Samman. Tansen Samman. Okay, it was started by Gwalior. Okay, and it is in MP. It is in MP. So Madhya Pradesh is the answer. Tansen was one of the 9 jewels of the Mughal Emperor Akbar's court in the Mughal Emperor's Akbar's court, and Tansen Music Festival and a particular it's an entire music festival which takes place in Gwalior. Okay, moving on. The Deccan Plateau is a dash landmark that lies to the south of the river Narmada. Okay, so this is basically south of India, and Deccan Plateau is here. Okay, this is the Deccan Plateau. It is triangular in shape. It is roughly triangular in shape, extended from the southern margin of the river Narmada down to the southern tip of India. Okay, it's an inverted triangle. It covers extensive area and is characterized by its flat top hills and numerous rivers like Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri flowing through it. Moving on, where did the indigenous port of Kalari Payattu originate from? The answer is Kerala. This is a fact based question, so you may read about it over here. Okay, it's an ancient martial art that originated in the southern state of Kerala. Moving on, who developed the technique of preserving the quality of food by raising its temperature to microbial growth in the food? She's just talking about raising the temperature. So, pasteurization is the process of raising the temperature. It is a technique that involves heating food and liquids to a specific temperature to kill harmful microbes that cause disease. So, Louis Pasteur is the answer. You may read about others over here by pausing the video. Moving on. Which of the following statements about Pala dynasty of the eastern India is incorrect? Okay. Devpala was a grandson of Gopala, correct. The Pala dynasty was founded by Gopala, correct. The Pala kings were the followers of Buddhism, correct. Dharampala founded the Vikramshila University, not the Vallabhi University. Okay, they followed the they Dharampala, Dharampala. He founded the Vikramshila University. Vikramshila University. Okay, the Vikramshila University. So, moving on, last question. In which state is the Raika tribe found? Raika tribe. Okay, the Raika tribe is found in Rajasthan. You may read about them over here. They are traditionally camel herders and breeders, and their community has a rich culture and historical heritage in the Thar Desert region. Okay, they are also called the Rebari or Raibari tribe in some regions. Over time, the Raikas have diversified into other forms of agriculture and livestock rearing, though their cultural identity remains strongly tied to the camel pastoralism. Okay, camel pastoralism. They they breed or and they rear camels. Okay, so thank you so much. We've done it all.